We are live here at Catch 22 Table and Tap here in Merrillville, Indiana. I am your host, Gregory Braggs Jr., and this is Braggs in the Stands. We are doing a test run for tonight to work out all the kinks for the big show next week, as Jim McMahon will be doing a public signing and meet and greet here at Catch 22, as you can see here in the picture at Merrillville, Indiana on US 30 in the region. We are very excited for that. As I said, I am your host, Gregory Braggs Jr. This is my co-host, Johnny B.
What's up?
The duck race extraordinaire and Sox fan, Kansas City Chiefs fanatic, man that wears many hats, a tennis professional, as they say. And then joining us tonight is my good friends, Draft Dr. Phil Latoshin and Shane Marsaw from the Tape Never Lies Network. We are very excited. We got a hopping scene out here at Catch 22. The music's rocking. We're getting ready for 80s night tomorrow. They got Pac-Man. They got Rubik's Cubes. They got all sorts of stuff hanging from the walls out there. They got a big night coming up tomorrow night. So we're just doing a little test run tonight.
Let's not forget, Greg, it is Friday night, baby. It is Friday night. We got to kick this off. You know, it's the weekend, baby, officially. Let's go.
It's Friday night. It's summertime in the region. No more COVID. Time to have some fun, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So as we kick things off, we're going to bring in the owner of Catch 22, our guy Jason here, who's been putting up with our nonsense here tonight as we try to get all our ducks in a row as Johnny B comes off the duck race connoisseur. So as I said before, this is my good friend to my right, Phil Latoshin, Draft Dr. Phil, as they affectionately call him, and Shane, the smartest man, Marsaw, from the Tape Never Lies Network. So Jason, why don't you kind of explain what's going on here tomorrow night with 80s night, and maybe, you know, expand on what you guys are going to be having in store for all the fans, the Bears fans coming out next Saturday for the Jim McMahon public signing meet and greet.
So in preparation for the Jim McMahon, we thought we would celebrate 80s and 90s, right? 85 Bears.
Right.
We threw an 80s, 90s party. We got Rubik's Cube. We got all kinds of giveaways. We're actually giving away a ticket tomorrow for Best Dressed 80s costume tomorrow night. So
what are you dressing up as?
I'm not sure yet.
Uh-oh.
It's kind of like I'm thinking about like some Zeke. I'm thinking about some Z Cavariccis maybe, and, or my Zubas, something like that.
You got the Zubas. Very nice.
The Zubas out.
Were you the guy that jumped out in the stands and caught the ball?
No, that was not me. And I did see that guy.
Oh.
Because I wouldn't be walking right now. That's not the case.
Yeah.
That guy hit hard.
Yeah, he did. So, as you were saying, it's 80s.
So it's 80s. We got an 80s party tomorrow night. We're pretty excited about this whole month. We've celebrated it. We got a bunch of decorations. It's going to be a fun night. And then next week, of course, we got McMahon. And I mean, what is this? Maybe the first time McMahon's been in Indiana, I hear. So we're excited to have him. You know, I mean, grew up watching them. It's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, if you come out to Catch 22, Table and Tap in Merrillville, Indiana, either tomorrow night for 80s night, have a chance to win some prizes, or even next Saturday, you get to meet the legend, Jim McMahon, Super Bowl champ quarterback for the beloved Chicago Bears. So, you know, anything else you want to add before you
excited to see the punky QB, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Hell yeah. We got a little live crowd here tonight. Making some noise.
Give it up for the owner.
That's literally
22.
Sponsoring you. Excited to have you here, man.
Well, we appreciate you having us. We'll try not to annoy your customers too much.
Right. You don't annoy them because they annoy me sometimes. But we love them. We love them. We love them, and I know I annoy them.
Well, we got to put up with Mike, of course.
You know what? He's the one we got to get out of here.
All right. So we'll bring Collector Cave Mike in, as I call him, as I have him stored in my.
Could he hear us out there or no? The owner.
Maso Menos. So can you hear Phil and
Can you
Shane?
hear me?
I cannot.
Alex, they can't hear. So we're getting our tech guy. He's got the speaker going.
This is why we do the practice, the preseason. Remember, Nagy sat down.
If you could hear us, we'd be telling you to go fuck yourself with that Parky jersey on right now.
It's not a Parky jersey.
I know.
Can you hear him now? Because we have a lot of music going on outside, you know, this room. So
can you hear me? I got the 22 jersey for Catch 22.
You got
on the back.
22 jersey for Catch 22. I love
Look
it.
at that. Look at that. But I was trying to say that to the owner, but Greg just.
It was Alex.
Greg.
I'm running Alex under the bus for that one.
We always do.
You got the name down.
We gotta blame it on the tech guy.
Can you hear us now? So when we're doing the live show, that everybody will be able to hear us because I'm in Connecticut and Shane is in upstate New York. That's how big Braggs is.
Big time.
Big
He's
time.
a big dude.
Yes, very big.
So at least I know he can hear me now, so that's good. I wanted to shout out the owner for doing this. He's got to be excited, and I think it's creative that he went 80s and 90s on us. I had some questions for him, but Greg kicked his ass off the stage so quick.
He's still here. They're expecting a pretty big crowd here tomorrow.
Yeah. So you're the guy with the box frames like this in the background, right? And you are sponsoring this whole extravaganza with Jimmy McMahon, correct?
Yeah, we're bringing So our company, Collector's Cave, is bringing Jimmy Mack into the region. Yes,
the region. He's never been in Indiana, Shane. I've been in Indiana. I've been through Gary. I wanted to see where the Jackson 5 were born, and boy, did I get out of there quick.
Got out of Gary just as quick as you came there, right?
Well, that's our next signing. Is going to be in Gary, Indiana.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
who's that with Tank Johnson?
My dad, born and raised in Gary, Indiana, so we take a lot of pride in the region out here. So, Mike, why don't you tell everybody what your company's all about? You know we have the Jim McMahon signing coming up on Saturday. You can expand on that, but maybe just talk about kind of what your company is all about, what you guys are trying to get accomplished here with the fan bases across the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, I think we're fans first. We love the region, and we want to bring athletes to the region. There's a long time where you always see them in Chicago and in the burbs in Illinois, and our goal really is to create an experience here in Northwest Indiana where we're bringing the athletes to the fan base directly, and that's really what our goal is. And we've done it in the past. Obviously, COVID hit. We had a lot of signings scheduled, so we're excited to bring Jimmy Mack back. The one good quarterback the Bears have ever had
until now. Flashing jersey,
right.
Baby.
Rocket, baby. So the excitement is there. With Jimmy Mack, what I love about Jimmy Mack though is he is who he is. He was, when he played, he is, who he is right now. If he feels a certain way, he's going to tell you. He's one of the most genuine, real athletes I've ever met. So I'm excited to see how, the fans react to how he is. And, there's been a lot of talk since we announced his signing. He's made a lot of comments. So it'll be interesting to see how it all comes together here when he sees the fan base.
Yeah, so Mike, why don't you also tell them about kind of what you guys are going to have to offer when fans come here? Because that's what I think is the coolest. I've gone to a few public signings, Devin Hester and things like that. But you guys are adding a little extra oomph to help the fans out that are coming.
Yeah, I think what we're trying to create here is an experience. So it's not just about meeting the athlete and getting an autograph. We want you to come here and enjoy your day, enjoy your time here, have lunch, have a few drinks. Come here, meet these athletes, get a picture with the athlete, take home an autographed jersey. We're also going to have on-site framing, which I think is really cool for me. Our company's all about man
really
cave. Cool. Upgrade your man cave. So you could literally get your jersey signed, walk outside, get it framed on site. So again, I think for us, it's all about the experience. We're fans more than anything else. We have full-time jobs, our big boy jobs, but this is fun for us, and we want to bring, our biggest, the athletes that we drew, that we care about, in front of you guys. So.
And then you also were crazy enough to involve Braggs in the stands.
Yeah,
in this crazy event, which is a step too far, maybe.
No, I think what you do is, you are going to help us. Really emphasize just the experience with the athletes, right? So I think the fact that you're going to be here, you're going to see the fans waiting in line, you're going to see them up front, meeting these fans, meeting Jimmy Mack, for example, next weekend. And I think the fact that you're bringing that, it's real, right? Like you're going to be able to, bring that excitement, and we're excited to have you for sure.
Well, I appreciate it. And that's why I wanted to involve my guys, Draft Dr. Phil and Shane, the smartest man from the Tape Never Lies network, because these guys bring a lot of personality and charisma and and can grab a few laughs here and there. A few more laughs than I can get because I'm not that funny. I'm a little more stale than these two. Yeah. So we're just going to have some fun next week, see how it goes. Yeah. Why don't you tell the viewers that are watching some of the upcoming signings that you have coming down the pike? Absolutely. So I would say we have about 20 offers to athletes right now. I would say the two that we could talk about, we just announced. We have Dan Hampton in July. We just posted that. That will be it. Whitaker Woods in Michigan. We're excited to have him. He's coming to a local sports card show. And then we also have Scott Podsednik, World Series champion. We're bringing him to Buffalo Wings and Rings the same day, actually, in July. So we have a lot. We're working on a lot of different signings. We want to hear from the fans who you guys want to see, and we'll continue to bring these athletes to the region and wherever we can to create that experience. It's fun for us, and we can't wait to make that happen for you guys.
Now, what's the name of your company? I mean, that's important for people and fans. What's the name of the brand, your company?
Our company is called The Collector Cave.
The Collector Cave. Look at that.
There you go. Bam.
Right on time. That's why I do this. Greg's learning from me.
Learning. We are learning.
It's like Matt Nagy and his how many years has he been learning?
It takes us 4 years to learn. I didn't want to give Mitch 4 years to learn, but we'll give Maggie the 4.
When's the Tyler Bray signing?
Can't let everybody learn on a 4-year slant. So yes, the Collector's Cave.
Collector's Cave. I think
at www.thecollectorscave.com. Tickets are still available for this event.
Now
next Saturday.
Be my next question for
about 33 tickets still available.
Yeah, I mean I think the first public signing since COVID happened, it's been pretty crazy with how many tickets have sold. So we have to limit the VIP tickets just because we want to make it an experience for those VIP folks. So if you want to meet him, you want to take that photo with Jim, make sure to go online and buy those tickets before they run out.
Absolutely.
Now go back into this. They get the jersey signed.
Yep.
Then they go outside and they can have it framed. Is that all a part of the ticket? Is there an extra cost?
No. So the VIP ticket, basically, you get to meet Jim, you get an autograph, you get a JSA certification, witness certification, and you also get the actual unsigned jersey. That's the super VIP. Plus, you get to the front of the line, basically. Now, if you want to get that signed jersey framed, it's $189. We'll have someone on site basically that will frame that jersey for you. So you'll be able to you come with the unsigned jersey, you take a photo with Jim, you leave with a framed jersey.
There you go. I mean, that's the experience, and you get everything in one. That's the package. I love that because
one-stop shop.
It took I was sent 2 autographed David Montgomery jerseys by one of our fans of our show, and I go to Price Point, the boxing and presenting them for my sons, and it's an expensive cost. To do it there on site was less than the cost that I researched here. Is what I'm basically saying. So that's
I would just say so we go back to it. We're fans. The reason why our company's called The Collector Cave is because, I love to see man caves. I get excited about it.
Yeah.
I love framed jerseys. So, if you go to Michael's, you're going to pay $400+ to get that jersey framed.
Yes.
We offer a quality product with UV protected, acid-free matting, 32x40, the best frames for a good price as well.
Yeah,
but
that's
again,
a very good price.
Absolutely. And again, for us, it's all about the experience. You meet you basically meet, whomever you want. So you meet Jimmy Mack, and then you're able to take that home and put it on your wall. And that's what the Collector Cave is about.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, Matt Mahalski, we are ignoring the Cubs game. They were winning for a brief moment. The Sox are tied 1-1. Not sure how the 76ers Hawks game wrapped up, but we're doing a test run here tonight to try to make sure we get all our ducks in a row for the big dance here next Saturday. And I hope you can come on out, Matt. Certainly would love to see you, brother. It's been a while. So, if there's any other final thoughts you have here, Mike, before we cut you loose.
No, man. Thanks for having us, Greg. Super happy to have you part of the company, and we'll be excited to see all the fans next week. Get here early, get a table. Catch has great food, and just enjoy the day. It's gonna be a gorgeous day. They have amazing outdoor space. We were out there. That's where Greg is gonna be set up outside, and it's gonna be a really fun event. I really urge you to, if you haven't been out to Catch in Merrillville, come out, enjoy the day, bring the family. It's gonna be a good day.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited to do it. Hopefully, we don't screw it up too much,
brother.
but that's why we're doing it.
Guys.
That is Mike from the Collector's Cave, and like I said,
Cave.
That's right, the Collector's Cave, and like we were saying, here's the pamphlet, or however you want to say it, for next Saturday. Flyer for Saturday, June 26th, from 1 to 2:30 p.m. is when Jim McMahon's going to get here. Order your tickets at www.thecollectorcave.com, and we are going to be at Catch 22, Table and Tap, 500 East 81st Avenue in Merrillville, Indiana, a.k.a. the region. So here we go. Johnny B is back alongside me, and we are moving along. The test run is going fairly well. Wouldn't you say, Shane?
No complaints, man. You sound great. I saw Barb is in the chat, so it makes the night even better.
Oh man, I know
Breakfast with Barb.
I know you're excited, Shane.
Hi, Barb. How's Barb's knee?
It's great. We haven't had any problems.
Another thing about the framing, which I think a lot of people are missing, is a lot of times when you get an item signed, there's a process where you have to get it signed, and if you're not getting it framed on site, you got to take it somewhere. I mean, a lot of things can happen to an autograph. It can get smudged. It can get dirty. So when you have that quality framing, he said with the UV protection right on the site, it's one-stop shopping, like Bragg said. But it's protected right away. You put it in your car, and you don't have to worry about the item getting damaged. I think that's lost in all of what we were talking about, just protecting the item. I mean, these are sports heroes. These are people that we cheer for. Win the championship back in 1985. Don't smudge the signature, baby.
Yeah, you see crazy fans wearing signed jerseys to the game sometimes. And
I had to explain that to my sons. I'm like, no, you can't wear this.
You get a beer shower anytime you go to Wrigley, yet you'll see people walking around with a Ron Santos sign. Like, what are you doing here, people? But my mom is in the chat, my lovely and loyal mother, and she's announcing her knee is good. She's doing a little too much on it, guys. She just got the knee replacement. And you can't tell her nothing. She's always going, and I'll catch her moving boxes downstairs, and I got her moving furniture next week for the big move-in. She refuses to say no to anything, so she's doing everything she can, but she's always moving and shaking, as they say. So I know she appreciates
Greg,
it.
we are going to be live covering it with you next Saturday. Jim McMahon's going to be there. We're going to be outside with Greg Braggs, the crossover show, TTNL and Braggs in the stands, or Braggs in the stands with TTNL. Let me get that. Let me give you the appropriate dubbing here.
Hey, where teamwork makes the dream work. And we'll make sure you guys can get into the stream where we can add your links to it so we can try to stream.
We'll definitely cross-promote for you.
I just upgraded to the biggest package, so now we can stream across 8 platforms. So we'll have to pick the 8 that we do. We have Collector's Caves Facebook group and Twitter, and then my Twitters. So we'll have a few to where you guys and your loyal viewers over at the Tape Never Lies Network will be able to see it from your streaming platforms as well.
Yeah, and hopefully we're able to snag Jimmy Mack on and join us for a few minutes. We'll see how that goes, though.
It's tough because this is going to be our first event, and we got into it after the fact of them announcing this signing, and he is committed to a lot of time in this room that we're sitting in right now to take pictures and sign autographs. So we'll see if he's able to pop in to say hi, but if not, we're certainly going to be able to bring you an entertaining show. There's a very good chance
they won't be able to. He can't resist Greg Bragg's charm, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. And you're going to have to charm your way. I want to set a poll, odds that Greg is able to reel in Jim McMahon Right now, the odds are set at what, Shane? 50%? Are we at half?
I would say I would.
Oh, you are a gambler. You are a gambler.
195.
Yeah.
Minus 195.
Oh, you're
on that. That's
over.
what I'm going with.
You're good.
I mean, I'm not giving it that good odds, but there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance then?
There's a chance. There's a chance.
Absolutely.
I would snag that fish home. I would go out of my way. But Greg, the pressure's on, but I think you got to film the line, get some interviews so we can share that as well.
Well, and that's the other thing, because where we're going to be set up outside is right where the guy that's going to be doing the framing will be, and then also where the line is for the people that are waiting to come in this private room.
Some of them
so
on the
we will
show.
pull fans that are waiting in line to come and harass them and talk to them.
Only TTNL and Bragg's fans.
Yeah, this is where we'll be set up, and then along the railing is where the line will be for the people that are going to be getting the Jim McMahon signing, and then people that aren't getting the signing just want to hang out and support what we're trying to do here can sit outside on the patio and listen to us ramble on, and we're certainly looking forward to it. And then, of course, I've reached out to some friends like David Kaplan, and we might be able to get some former Bears to pop on. We'll see what happens. It's a Saturday, so I'm trying to do what I can to make this as entertaining a show as possible, but we understand people have busy schedules. So we appreciate you guys getting involved in this and adding to what we're trying to do here for sure.
Well, as Shane says, we're going to bring more than 7 viewers every time.
Does Shane say that? Because he's been he's barely being able to get a word in.
He looks like he's
never
tired
getting a word in. Yeah, well, that part's true. Never getting a word in edgewise. Do you know who I work with, Greg? You ever met this guy?
And then when you bring me into the fold, then it's
oh my God! Yeah,
you just gotta
both you fuckers start going. I just sit in the background and I'm texting your mom more than I'm talking to her.
Well, and when we all used to do it together, it was much easier to just put me backstage or mute me. But now
you're in control.
I'm the captain now.
We had to go and raise $4,000 for kids with cancer and get fired, and now our whole lives are different.
I mean, this guy's got 20-minute goodbyes to guests, like 20 minutes long.
That ain't shit. Phil will say goodbye for 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Phil said "God bless" 57 times in 6 minutes the other night, saying goodbye to people.
I'm certain it's going to be a good time. That's how you get the best out of people. You're authentic. And I love that about Greg. Shane's always in a rush because he's fucking tired. Mailmen have that psychosis.
Mailman's always
angry. Yeah, they got to deliver. So when, the time's up, the time's up. But for me and Greg, we're social butterflies. We want to squeeze the juice out of every guest. It sucks when you get that guest that thinks that David Montgomery's just a guy or Justin Fields is not ready. Then you either sit on your hands or you push back and confront it. You know what kind of person I am. Absolutely. Or if someone's talking good about Charles Leno, that's the last time I'll bring his name up.
Hey, Charles,
I can't sit.
Charles is off to Washington, and you got all your hopes and dreams with Tevin Jenkins. I think you were more excited for Tevin Jenkins than Justin Fields.
Live on air, you was.
Live on air, yeah. Only because you needed to get the tackle with the quarterback. There needed to be an attitude adjustment, and Tevin Jenkins was my guy. I would have taken him at 20 had they passed on quarterback. So to get him in the second round.
Greg said it that night as soon as I announced the pick live on air.
Tackle or give me that.
That's right. Give me a tackle, Johnny B. I was there right to start the draft. So give me a tackle or give me death, as Alex said. And they did it. And not only did they do it, they traded up and got the guy that I felt like would go walking into Hallis Hall and be an immediate upgrade at left tackle. It's that guy right there, Tevin Jenkins from Oklahoma State. You talk about a big man with an attitude, a dancing bear, more athletic than people have given him credit for. And he packs that tenacity that when you're starting a franchise, especially the Chicago Bears. You look back historically, Jimbo Covert, John Tate, you had Olin Kreutz, these types that took over the game, established the run, and then you have the identity that Matt Nagy's been searching for so long. You find it through these the biggins, as we say, Greg. You get those biggins up there, and Tevin, I'm so excited to see this offensive line. And he's just one of the guys I'm excited about. You got Larry Borum and Dieter Eisland, a name no one's talking about, but TTNL. So, yeah. And then, of course, Justin Fields. It's going to be so interesting, Greg, to see this. Greg, what did you think? Because we haven't talked to you about Matt Nagy's promises, no promises. Speaking of the 80s, it felt like an 80s song. Promises.
Nice.
Well, it's I don't expect him to say anything different at this point. To put any added pressure on him probably would be silly with everything that they went through developmentally with Mitch Trubisky, even though he wasn't here in the first year. And then when you add in the fact that Matt Nagy saw the developmental process that Johnny B saw with Patrick Mahomes, I know he's leaning towards that kind of an angle. Johnny B felt like Justin Fields is going to be out there week 1 against the Rams, which I still believe is still on the table.
Johnny B's percentage? I know he's a gambler. What's your percentage Fields is out there?
Well, you got to look at a couple different factors here. I mean, does Andy Dalton know the Bears playbook any better than Justin Fields? Probably not. Obviously, he's new to the system as well. He is a seasoned professional. We can't take that away from him. But if you look at his primetime record in the NFL, it's dreadful. The numbers are dreadful. The stats are dreadful. I saw that schedule come out. Everybody, an NFL fan, doesn't matter what team you like. You're looking at the schedule. You're looking at the games you're going to watch. For me, I'm going to look at the games I'm going to bet on. I'm going to try to make that money. And when I saw Chicago Bears in L.A. with the stadium for the fans for the first time, is Andy Dalton going to be behind center for that game on Sunday Night Football Week 1? Hell no, he is not. Justin Fields is the future. And I'm saying Justin Fields, 60% chance he's going to start week 1, baby. Let's go.
I still think there's a chance, but it's going to be tough when you consider how Matt Nagy dials it back in preseason games. We've already seen this the last few years. Obviously, last year was a COVID hamstrung year. But in general, Matt Nagy does not push his guys very hard in the preseason in a way that maybe a Russell Wilson got to show out for the Seattle Seahawks and just take that job from Matt Flynn. I don't know how much of an opportunity in only 3 preseason games that Justin Fields is going to be able to do that for week 1. But the nice part about the NFL expanding their schedule to 17 games and now an extra team makes the playoffs each year is now the Bears have a little more of a leash to be able to make the playoffs despite maybe him not starting week 1 as much as we all want to see him. And trust me, I know guys like Chubbs wants to see him out there as he's in the chat, one of our very loyal listeners and one of the 7. Thank you very much. But I just want to see it play out. I'm not trying to make any grand proclamations as far as what it's going to happen until we see it. I mean, we all saw how terrible Mike Glennon was his first year at camp, and a lot of reporters it was widely unreported. That was a lot of my inspiration of starting to do coverage as a fan because I saw something different, even though I know nothing about the game of football in a comparison to a guy like Draft Dr. Phil who's played the game and coached the game. I know what I saw. And so if we all see that at camp, there are a limited amount of fans that'll be at Bourbonnais. Your boy broke that news. Thank you very much.
Did.
Playing fake reporter time as a part-time bricklayer, part-time newsbreaker. But, hopefully I can get in there for a training camp and get my own eyes on it. And then we'll have, 2 or 3 preseason games to see Justin Fields. Then, of course, the big Mitch Trubisky versus Justin Fields showdown for the second week of the preseason. And if he shows out so much and Andy Dalton is hot garbage like we saw with Mike Glennon, that could be the perfect storm to see a guy like Justin Fields run out that tunnel week 1 as your starter. But I just think we're getting the horse before the cart, or the cart before the horse.
There you go. You got it right the second time.
But also, I did want to ask Johnny B, as our in-house resident, avid, fanatical Chiefs fan who drives to every home game from Northwest Indiana and a season ticket holder, goes to camp. We just picked up a defensive lineman from the Kansas City Chiefs, with all the uncertainty of what Eddie Goldman is doing, not coming to, mandatory mini camp. Why don't you speak on our newest addition to the Chicago Bears? We were sitting at the bar a little bit ago, and you were singing high praises.
Yeah, Mike Pinnell. He was on the team for the last couple of years. He's a Super Bowl champion. He was a very underrated guy on our team. When we were having trouble stopping the run for times early in the season on both years, he just goes in there and he takes up bodies and he has a motor. And I know my Twitter was blowing up when the news dropped that he was going to Chicago. Obviously happy for our boy, but sad that he's not going to be on the team with Kansas City this year. I think you guys got a beast. I think you got a player that can add depth, that can get you starts if you need it. And he's just going to soak up that middle, and he's going to put a big body in there, and it's going to take two guys to move him. And I think it's going to only solidify the run defense definitely going forward.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I mean,
what seemed like a move to obviously. I mean, it's too obvious. You know, it's like playing certain games or watching a movie where you already figure out the ending in the middle. The Bears obviously signed this guy because Eddie Goldman's not there. This is a message to Eddie, his agent, and to the team, and it's something that I'm excited about. I like hearing what you have to say about him. It's going to be interesting because the Bears drafted Tonga from BYU as a nose man. They were playing Bilal Nichols at nose and Mario Edwards, and that's kind of playing them out of their position to be successful. And you still saw Nichols play well. So to have Nichols be able to stay where he's at, and you bring in a veteran football player that has obvious understanding of the nose guard and the nose man position and what unselfishness you have to have when you play that, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out and how Eddie Goldman handles this news, because Nagy did answer that he believes in whatever conversation that turned out it wasn't him. He said we talked to him, and then it was Ryan Pace that talked to him. So whatever that conversation was, they came away thinking Eddie's going to be there.
Well, what do you think it is, Shane? Because you're always pretty on the money when it comes to looking at things on its surface and being able to break down in your own perspective how this is unfolding. I mean, where do you think this is going with Eddie Goldman? Is he not going to be a starter come week one?
I don't think Eddie loves football. I think Eddie's a big guy that's got lots of talent, that has, the ability to play football. He's like the tall kid when you're in 7th grade. Everybody's like, oh, you should go play basketball. Well, I don't love basketball, but I'm tall, so I'll play. I think that's who Eddie is. I think that's what he is. There's not a bigger fan of Eddie Goldman than me. Phil, we talked about it on our show in the draft when he was coming out. I was pounding the table for him. Was so happy that the Bears were able to get him in round 2. But he's very, very underrated. I've just never bought in that he absolutely loves it, that he can't live without it. And I don't want to get into the COVID thing.
That's what I was going to say.
Everybody's going to have
what are the chances it's more because of COVID? I mean, you're seeing a lot of players come out in baseball and football.
It's simple to say that then. It's simple. Yeah, there's no reason to make all of this drama.
Exactly.
It's almost like a built-in cop-out.
Exactly. My biggest thing with Eddie is the Bears extended Eddie right after they traded for Khalil Mack, because he's just as important to this defense as Khalil Mack is. People don't realize that, but the nose tackle in this defense that the Bears play drives the whole fucking thing. It really does. And he is one of the most underrated players in the entire league. He really, really is. I just don't think he loves football. He got paid. He got that bonus money. The Bears are going to go back after that if he doesn't show up. The separator for me with Eddie was, all right, you can have your religious beliefs, your social beliefs, whatever, with COVID, and you're going to sit out. You don't feel safe. Okay, I'll respect that. Go do your thing, which he did last year. Then you have the voluntary workouts he didn't show up for. That bothered me, even though it's voluntary. You just sat out an entire fucking season, and you didn't even show up. Maybe you didn't have to get out there and participate. You should have been. To me, you should have been there. Then the mandatory, you don't even let anybody know, and it's not an excused absence. That to me screams, I don't love football. I don't miss it. I don't need it because I've been paid. And Greg, when we drafted him for the first 2-3 years, every time you were at training camp, how many times did we hear Eddie Goldman had to leave the field today because he's dehydrated, he's not in shape? That's just who he is. And when you sit out a year in football, it's hard to come back from.
Well, it's hard for me to judge because I'm always out of shape, So
yeah, but you're not getting paid to be in
Yeah,
shape, though. You know what I mean? You're not getting paid generational money to treat your body as a temple, and that's the difference. Eddie's the big kid in 7th grade that everybody says should play football, so he did. I don't think he loves it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out for sure. And then the other big news that's broke here in the last couple days, and we have so much that we can cover here next Saturday when Jim McMahon is live here at Catch 22, as we will also be live here at Catch 22 Table and Tap in Merrillville, Indiana. But the other big news to quickly touch on, because, we want to give the fans a taste of what they're going to get next weekend, but certainly would be remiss if we didn't touch on the big news that the Bears are putting a bid in to take the property in Arlington Heights and potentially move out of Soldier Field. And Shane, I'll start with you because, like I said, me and Phil have been doing a lot of the talking here, and then we'll move to Phil's opinion. What are your thoughts on this whole thing? Do you think the Bears will win this bid? And if they do you think it's the right decision to leave Soldier Field and make their own state-of-the-art stadium with a whole, community around that stadium that will just help pump money into this organization?
Yeah, it's 100% the correct decision. I mean, I know that I'm not in Chicago, and I know there's a lot of people that pisses off and think that I shouldn't have a comment on it because I'm here in New York. But listen, the Bears it's the 3rd largest media market in the entire world, and they have the second smallest stadium in terms of capacity in the NFL. You're in the city of Chicago, and you have an open air stadium. I get it, and everybody always talks about the aesthetics and seeing the skyline. That's great. I'd love to see a Super Bowl in Chicago. I'd love to see a Final Four in Chicago. Greg, you went over to London. You and I talked about this yesterday. You go into that state-of-the-art stadium. Would you like to go into one of those every weekend to see your favorite team play?
Without question. I mean,
Absolutely.
I put it on Twitter today. I Googled how the Google Maps to see how long my drive would change. And I would go from a 35-minute drive to my tailgate to an hour and 52 minutes, and I would still take this move because of everything that it would encompass with fans. They're going to build a freaking sports book and a casino right next to this thing because it's 20 minutes from the airport.
Right, and I see one of the comments in the chat. Nick Laz says, "But it's in Chicago, though." Okay, great. That's the reason. Have you seen all these other stadiums in the NFL? Where does Dallas play? Where do the Niners play? Doesn't matter. Yeah,
Giants,
exactly.
And unfortunately, Chicago's a packed city. It's hard to take what we're all trying to envision here and build that in the city limits of Chicago. I mean, Wrigley Field is an amazing place to go watch a game, but there's zero parking because it's a neighborhood surrounded there. There's nowhere to put what we're talking about.
I'll say this, and I think this is the most important part, and this is, obviously there's negotiations at play, but when you are a multiple billion-dollar franchise, and this was very crafted. Justin Fields was the last person to talk yesterday, and he probably wasn't 25 feet away from the podium after it wrapped up when Ted Phillips sent out that statement. The Bears, they didn't have to take questions, anything like that. But listen, you're not putting it out there that, hey, we put in a bid for this unless you know that you're very likely going to have that bid accepted, because it's essentially a public shame. Oh, we put out a bid, but we got outbid for it. You know what I mean? I think that there's a lot at play here and a lot more than they know. And Greg, it needs to happen because listen, it's Soldier Field. I get it. You're honoring the vets and the soldiers and all of that, but this is about the almighty dollar, and you go there. What did your guy with the that you're doing the event with? It's all about the experience. Yep. It's all about the experience, and you want to be able to walk out of the Bears stadium, and you don't want to have one restaurant to pick from. You want to have 50. You want to have 10 sports bars there. You want to have, like you said, you want the sports book. You go to New England, there's a fucking shopping mall right there. You know what I mean? Your wife doesn't want to go to the football game, so she can go shop, spend your money while you're in there chopping it up with the boys. It's about the experience. And listen, Chicago, for whatever reason, we live and die with this franchise. They've done so many things wrong, and we thought that it was going to get worse. We thought it did get worse this offseason. Then the draft happened. They made the move for Justin Fields, and Phil and I and everybody else like, holy shit, this happened. Oh. They go up and they go get Tevin Jenkins. We're like, holy shit, this happened. Oh, they're not going to let Charles Leno go. Monday after the draft, Charles Leno is gone. Holy shit, these guys. Because you know what happens when your livelihood is on the fucking line, you start to do a better job. I mean, because you don't get a lot of second chances as a GM. Once you get fired from that, you usually don't become a second-time GM with another franchise. So these guys are doing it, and listen, you saw the expansion at Hallis Hall. Now you're going to see the expansion with the stadium. Yep. And the event around it. And
they're not resting on their laurels anymore.
No.
They're trying to put things into motion. I do think another caveat to this is that there is a chance the owners will sell this team once Virginia McCaskey passes away, and they want to make this franchise worth as much as it possibly can be.
Craig, so they're in the top 5 right now with a stadium a stadium that they don't own. If they build this the right way, they're going to be in Dallas Cowboy territory.
That's exactly what I wanted to jump in and say. You take a top 5 team in regards to worldwide branding. Yeah. Chicago Bears. I know Johnny B's a Chiefs fan. Fuck a Chief. Chiefs won a Super Bowl, but their fan base doesn't travel. I've gone to other countries and people are Bears. Let's go Bears everywhere.
Well, I will say that's fucking changed since Patrick Mahomes. So I think you need out a little more.
I'll give you that.
He's tugging at his heartstrings.
I'm just telling you, there's not a comparison in regards to the Chicago Bears.
There's certainly
brand.
Fanatical fans, but when you talk about the amount of fans Chicago
worldwide,
has, it's insane.
It's unbelievable. I'm in Connecticut. There's thousands, and I'm not even exaggerating, thousands of fans. My wife and I went out to dinner in Hartford, Connecticut. I hear a guy, draft Dr. Phil, go Bear. And my wife's like, holy shit. And I go, yeah, Bears fans it's unbelievable. My point is, I was just joking with you, Johnny, is the reality of the worth of that franchise is top 5. When you build a stadium where the ticket sales, the parking, the admission, everything on their level is going back to the organization and not the park district. Now you're worth on top of the showcase of the stadium. Like Shane said, Dallas Cowboy Stadium. Wow. You guys went to London. Wow. Unbelievable. When that becomes the Bears and ownership is going to have to sell this team when the old lady dies, you're preparing yourself to have billions more. So if you're worth, I saw in Forbes, it's worth $4.4 billion, this franchise. Now all of a sudden you're $2-3 more billion worth.
$6 billion. And I was in Dallas not long ago, a few years ago, and I got to see the whole experience there going down from the training facility. I mean, shit, the training facility alone in Dallas is surrounded by bars, restaurants, shops, a big screen TV that's as big as a movie theater outside where you can throw the football around with your boys, your kid, whoever. And then you go to the stadium, and the way they have that set up before the game, whether it's the tailgating, which, you can argue all you want, but when people go hang out, who has the best tailgating, whatever, they're there, they're hanging out, and they have it set up so you can watch the other games because Dallas has a lot of games that start at 3:25, and it's an experience, as we've been saying. It's a total experience, and the dollars are flying before the game, after the game, every way possible.
Greg, you know what it's like, man. you're moving into a new house. What do you do to your old house when you're trying to sell it? You're fixing things up. You're painting the walls. You're doing your bathroom over the kitchen, stuff like that. You saw like I said, you saw the expansion at Hallis Hall. That's part of it. That is all part of this. The next step is the stadium and everything else. And that's.
Let me say this though, real quick. You know, the Jets and the Giants. So I saw some blog boy, PFF Brad, talking about Arlington Bears. Don't be disrespectful. The reality is the San Francisco 49ers play in another town. The Dallas Cowboys, Dallas, they don't play in Dallas. The New York Jets and the Giants both play in New Jersey. And it's been like that. It's been like that. It's a different state. So don't be disrespecting an organization that's trying to improve itself.
Well, also, it's not the 1960s anymore. Branding has come a long way.
You can get a retractable dome. You put the field turf down. You become the new era Bears. You don't become the Bear. All of that shit.
We gotta have the elements. We gotta have the long grass.
This pisses me off though because they could have done that. They tried to do this in Gary, Indiana, in the 90s, and it almost had. Now they're gonna go 2 hours away. They could have been 10 minutes from me in the freaking region. Come on, guys.
This is how backwards
area.
This is how backwards the franchise has been. Look back when Lovey was here. They built the entire team based off speed, and they put them on a fucking minefield where people couldn't get muddy. You're drafting thoroughbreds, and you're letting them run in mud. It makes no sense at all.
Wally Gunley is trying to bend the corner and he's sliding like freaking Mark Chelios. Look at that name I pulled out of there.
Can I add this too? And I think when they do build this new stadium, and if it does end up in Arlington Heights, they've had some new statues with Walter Payton, George Halas, and everything else. And I'm going to put my name on this, and I'm going to beat the freaking drum until they do it.
Not a Mitch Trubisky statue, Greg.
No Mitch Trubisky statues. As much as I enjoyed the 2 playoff appearances in 2018 was a special year. No, the statue they need to build, and they need to build it before the man passes away, or not to say that he is anytime soon, is Don the frickin' Bear Man. Build his statue outside that stadium and let him represent the fans and he embodies what Chicago Bears fans are all about. Put it, if there's a south lot at this new stadium, put it in the middle of the frickin' south lot. His image is iconic with the Chicago Bears, and he's given his life and his blood to this organization without asking for a dollar or anything. And he's had some things come his way, and they've all been well-deserved. But I will build that statue out of frickin' stone if I have to truly honor this man, Don the Bear Man, because he is what everything Chicago Bears fans are all about.
They couldn't honor Gale Sayers the right way, so I wouldn't hold your breath on that.
That is true. This is 100% true. I did honor him at duck races, though, when I did my Bears edition. So I did honor Gale Sayers, but the Bears did it. Isn't that hilarious?
The Bears put a circle right by the
on the sideline where the TV crew was.
And it took them to the end of the year when they got a little backsided pressure from social media. Like,
I couldn't believe it.
It was a COVID season, and no excuses, of course. I mean, Gale Sayers is iconic, just as Steve Mongo McMichael, who's going through his troubles now with ALS. And these guys should be honored by the Chicago Bears. Bears fans will never forget what these guys have brought to this franchise, and neither should the organization. And I know George McCaskey tries to do everything he can to do right by these guys that paved the way for what this organization has become. But certainly they need to continue to try to do as good an effort as they possibly can. I completely agree with both of you there.
Real quick, Greg. Go ahead. Yeah, Chubbs brought it up there, and I wanted to talk about it too. While we're talking about this, is the mayor, Lori Lightfoot. Her response was, it was ridiculous. I mean, I have no, other than being a Bears fan.
Bob boss, the way she.
Yeah, I mean, it was just it's so embarrassing. It's pathetic. I mean, that would be your response, and then you're taking the shot. We want you to remain
Just focus
relevant
on
past
beating the
October.
Packers.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Well, I thought that even I saw the comment as well, and like
Yeah.
you say you're a season ticket holder, you say you're a fan, you say you're not relevant past October. I don't know. I remember doing shows here with Greg. I remember
Yeah.
talking about the Bears sneaking into the playoffs. I do remember a playoff game this year that they were into it until a touchdown pass was dropped in the end zone right in the hand.
Yeah,
So what is she
that could have
talking
changed
about?
the whole game.
yeah,
You're 100% right,
absolutely.
John.
And it's just,
It's embarrassing. Listen, I want to say one thing about Soldier Field on top of the mayor. It's embarrassing what she said because she's bringing her political agenda to football. There's no place for politics in football. I quoted that. We have a T-shirt now, performance over politics, because we're worried about Matt Nagy doing what he's doing. Here's the mayor doing the same goddamn thing. It's embarrassing.
Well,
But I
isn't
will
it her
say-
job too to because
Yes.
the park district
Sure.
owns the stadium. So if she wants to,
Well, she's
try
getting
to
worried
smooth
because-
the Bears to stay, how about you get them a new field?
Yeah, well, she wants them to stay in her agenda,
On her
trapped
terms.
there, making money for them. Then, her peeps, her politicians are getting the kickbacks. It's such a, I'm not even from Chicago, but the people I know that I respect, it's such a disorganized and criminal government situation you got in that city. There's a lot of kickbacks
They're
and
all-
shady shit going down. That
yeah,
that
she
being said-
she wanted to run her politics, and then the Bears dropped the fucking nuke in her lap when she wasn't expecting it.
Exactly.
And that's what they did. They
pushed her
dropped it.
ass because this is all
Yeah, they
arguing.
dropped
behind
it
the
and
scenes.
fucking bounced because
Yeah.
now you're not talking to anybody in the Bears organization until training camp. They're
Well,
like,
do you think that it's because I've seen some people think that this is a bluff by the Bears to try to get Chicago
No.
to, so you guys are on
No.
the other side, that this is a more serious
This is a
bid that they're
Oh,
ready
hell
to
yeah.
leave.
This is Shane hit it out of the
the
park.
fact that you come out and said that you
yes,
put
you
in a
don't put
bid-
yourself out there to lose.
Yeah,
You
you're
don't
not
do it.
exactly. It's like, do you remember back, and not to bring this bad portion up, but when the Bears were in the trying to trade for Jay Cutler, they talked to Jerry Angelo, and he's like, "No, we were in it to win it." That's what this is. You're not putting in just a cursory bid for all of this land that could take your franchise value from 4.3 to potentially 7.5 or even 8 billion.
Yes,
That's
you're way over the
whatever-
Yankees at that.
whatever that bid is financially is going to be minuscule to what
And you have more
your worth
seats.
is.
Think
Yeah,
about
and-
this: you're the number 2 metropolis,
Yeah.
and the number 1 sport in that whole area is football.
And the
And
name,
the
listen,
Bears.
and the naming rights.
And the
They've
naming
never
rights.
sold naming rights. This is
You-
going to be.
Oh my God! It could
And
be
listen, and you don't
Cadillacs.
think that
Bear Stadium, whatever
they want-
Alice Stadium.
what better time to strike? I mean, you have to look at everything. When the Bears did the QB1 with Andy Dalton and set that out, everybody was like, "Fuck you, Chicago. You're pathetic." Now you went and got Justin Fields. Yeah, QB1. Now you went and got Justin Fields. The public perception of the Chicago Bears immediately changed.
Yes,
You have public support out there. And if you're going to go to make this political again, if you're going to get
It is.
public backing for this stadium, what better time to strike?
Yep.
Exactly. And
You're
I
100%
will say this: one of the things positive about Soldier Field, I brought my wife her first experience in Chicago, and we went to a Bears preseason game. It was Jay Cutler was the quarterback. It was against the Giants. So we're, it's in the summertime. Greg knows this city is gorgeous. I live an hour and 20 minutes from Manhattan, and I'll tell you, 100 out of 100 times, Chicago is a cleaner, nicer,
100%.
cheaper, and just more beautiful city. Now, that's no shot at New York. It's amazing, but Chicago is unbelievable. But the fact that you could walk across the street, Michigan Ave, from your hotel or where B&B, whatever, walk through this park, see the freaking Married with Children fountain, whatever it's called, and walk to a game. And walk to the game. It was like, my wife was like, holy, this is like the Wizard of Oz. It was like Oz. All of a sudden, this stadium is right there in the heart. It's gorgeous. I mean, the sight lines and everything like that. There is a part of you that says, wow. But
and the colonnades when you walk up.
Yeah. I'm not the hater like a lot of people. Oh, it looks like a UFO. I see it looks like a modern, it's cool. It's not. In the stadium inside, you got great sight lines, except for the all 22 they give us.
Not the Bragg's 22, though. Thank you very much.
But the reality
Jen
is,
Talicki's online too.
the reality is, it is an amazing setting. Now, the tailgating is limited. You're getting out of there is crazy hard. Is that all of us up there? And
you see Greg getting ready to touch Matt Nagy's bald head.
You're like, Nagy, run the ball.
Run the ball.
Or what did you have me tell Chuck Pagano in the tunnel?
Chuck, you got a nickel blitz. Man up and send the nickel after this guy.
We'll see if Sean Desai will do that here this year.
Desai's probably. I hope he's going to be aggressive. That's going to be the next. But real quick, the last thing to get out of Soldier Field and not have what Shane is talking about and you're talking about, the atmosphere, the nightclub, the bar scenes. You get out of a New England Patriot game, it is the worst stadium to get the fuck out of, but they brilliantly played off that, and they built a mall, movie theaters, rollers rinks, bowling alley. All Dave and Buster's is there. There's all these things for fans, and fans experience the freaking NFL shop, and you can get all their swag there. It looks like a fucking giant warehouse, a Costco of Patriots gear. It's what you can do to make it an experience, and that's really what you can't get. The only thing you're doing is holding on to historic, this is Soldier Field, and I love that. But at some point, you gotta say, business side, 4 billion or 8 billion. That right there to me is the move. And according to people that know that area, the roads all lead to Arlington. So it's the perfect
20 minutes from O'Hare Airport, the biggest airports in the world.
They're putting hotels there. You're going to have more jobs. So I think it's a great thing. I think
it makes too much sense to not.
T Live is wrong. It's not about.
Yeah, they've already renovated the stadium once, and
they're
trying to get out. They're trying to get out of that stadium 20 years later. So they've taken that crack to try to stay at Soldier Field, and the upgrades have done enough to keep it this long.
It's not even just the upgrade; it's the capacity.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say capacity as far as an area that you have like Chicago with the market. I mean, the capacity is embarrassing.
You could put fucking 8. You could put 8K TVs at every fucking seat in there, and it does not matter. You want to go from. I mean, what's Dallas? 105,000? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You imagine
put that there with the Bears.
You're essentially you're damn near doubling capacity, and when you're talking about Super Bowls and Final Fours and
WrestleMania,
I mean, you're in Kansas City, which is a small market at just under 80,000, and that's a small market. It's filled every week.
Filled with
the team has gotten better since Andy Reid got there. Everyone's coming from all over the country. We played the Packers, we played the Vikings, we played the Bears a few years ago. I mean, they're coming to visit Kansas City, see the stadium, the crowd, eat the barbecue, tailgate, and that's a small market. What could Chicago do? They got the capacity needs to go up. Let's go.
I always laugh though because everybody that I've talked to and every fan that's pissed off about this, it's always, but the sight lines, and I'm. Come on. If you're worried about being able to look over the stadium to see the city, that means the product on the field fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should be more concerned about what's on the field, not what's over the top of the stadium.
Just hold the trophy.
And you can only see the skyline from within the stadium
Exactly.
at the top of the south end zone seats. Like,
no, you could see it in the south end zone.
that's what I'm saying. You can see only there. Other than that, you're not seeing the lake. You're not. You can see those on the TV when they do the pan out during when they're cutting from commercials.
You should be watching Justin Fields aired out to Mooney and
Exactly.
I don't give a shit.
Buildings in the back. Let's
as long
go.
as I see a clear sky, you're good. I mean, that's what football's all about at the end of the day.
Skies.
The old man was trying to do this
Fields.
back in the 70s. He was trying to move him to Arlington because Papa Bear Hallis, the fucking real general of the NFL, that's a whole nother story. He had the vision, like, we got to have a stadium that's state of the art, it's safe, and you have an experience of what the Chicago Bears
He just
are.
wanted it to be free.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Who wouldn't? I mean, the name itself. The other thing that I got to say, and I'm stealing from my boy Kenneth Davis from that Davis show. I was talking to him today. He said it too. The Bears, if they had stayed here, they stupidly didn't say we own 90%. Park District, you own 10. Then they're not in this jam, so to speak. Then they could do what they want. But because you have somebody else think about it. You got a landlord telling you can't paint the walls. You can't do this. They didn't have fucking HD TVs in there till 2017.
They're paying top dollar for rent.
Exactly. You can't be. Just think about how many of you listening in own your own home. If you're paying rent, every person that's a financial person is going to tell you it's time to get yourself in a home because you're just throwing your money away. That's what the Bears
or move in with your mom and have her pay anything, right, guys?
That's right. You can make a lot of money if you move in with mom, Mr. McCaskey. Just move in with Virginia. You'll save up lots of money. I'll tell you what. Before we cut this loose, because we've been going a solid hour, I do want to bring in our guy real quick, Alex Acevedo, to say hi, and then we'll let each of you kind of say your goodbyes.
There he is, our swag man.
We got the swag man. You go ahead and pump the shirt out. The Tape Never Lies Network.
The first time Alex has been coherent on the air. Go ahead, man.
I'm having fun in the background, hanging out.
It's legal in Illinois. Alex is always
it's not
with
legal
audio.
in Indiana quite yet, though. And but I do want to thank you, Alex. You know, he came out here today. It was not even in the plans for him to help with the technical side of all of this, of what we're trying to get accomplished here for next Saturday. And I'm glad we did this test run here tonight because there are a lot of bells and whistles that are added to it when you're trying to do a live show. And we're going to be trying to do a live show with Draft Dr. Phil and Shane Marsaw when he finally makes his homecoming to Soldier Field here later in the year. Not to spoil anything. I hope I'm not.
We've talked, so you can remind October 17th.
That's right, Bears Packers. So this is good practice, and Alex has been integral here tonight in us getting this live show off the ground. A test run tonight, the soft opening. So Alex, if you got anything to add or you want to say as far as what you do for Tape Never Lies Network, and again, I really appreciate all your help here tonight.
Yeah, no problem. I just do whatever Phil tells me. So.
So you took my place.
Answer. He's a good listener.
Yeah. Thanks, Coach. No problem.
Is that it? A man of few words.
I have nothing to say. I hope we see some familiar faces Saturday night and hopefully
Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Saturday 1 p.m. Hopefully everything goes smooth. I just hope
1 p.m. Central.
I'm a little worried, but
2 o'clock East, Shane.
Yes, if you're a Tape Never Lies Network fan, you want to come out. You'll see some of the Tape Never Lies Network people here to represent their fine network here, and then there's going to be even a couple people out here supporting what Brags in the Stands is all about. And then, of course, the hundreds of people that are coming out here to see the punky QB, the Super Bowl champ, Jimmy McMahon. So we're very excited here for next Saturday. Again, Alex, I want to thank you for everything you've done here tonight. You drove all the way from Bourbonnais, the former summer home of the Chicago Bears. It's a long drive from Bourbonnais here to the region, and he did that out of the kindness of his heart at the last minute. So
I told him to do it. I said, go do it. No, I didn't.
No,
Then
Alex-
he told Bill told me, so I had to go.
Alex
we got Papa
Acevedo.
Shane and Papa Phil. Phil's
Alex-
a papa to very many people.
Yes.
Alex Acevedo, real quick, is the ultimate teammate. He is the guy that, honestly, I'm saying
The
this.
utility man.
Yeah, he will
Every
do.
team needs one.
He gets great drops. He captures those moments in the show that are so funny. He's instrumental in obviously the swag shop that he's wearing and helping to build that, but also just all the little things, as Shane said, the ultimate utility player. I love this dude. I'll say it too. I cannot wait to meet this guy.
He's like Ben
You know?
Zobrist.
Yes. I don't know who that is, but it sounds good. He
just
must be a baseball player.
He's a baseball player.
All
Yes.
right.
Actually, when I took you to the game, I think he hit a walk-off that day.
Is that the guy that we met after the game?
Yes. Ben
Oh,
Zobrist,
okay.
one
I
sided with the
remember meeting
fans.
him.
See, you know
So you're
baseball.
saying
Dapped it up,
me
me and
and
him.
Bears player. I'm trying to think of a good utility guy.
Oh, Brendan Iambadejo. Come on now. That was the ultimate.
We gotta do better than Brendan.
No, that dude was-
utility.
Yes.
Bobby
Yeah, I gotta-
Ingram. Bobby Ingram was the
Bobby Ingram's a
hard
good.
hat. You
He
know.
always punt returned
Yep.
in the slot. You need a first down.
Josh Bellamy.
Raymond
My God.
Harris.
Oh.
Raymond Harris.
He upset me at that
Josh
Falcons
Bellamy.
game in 2017 where he
More
dropped it.
drops.
They could have
Hey,
won.
no Bellamy
lyrics.
bashing on Braxton stance. That's
More
my
Isn't
guy.
he in-
drops than Josh
isn't he in
Acquitted.
prison? Isn't he
He's
in prison now?
acquitted. No, he's acquitted. He's living his dream down in Florida. Leave him alone. Josh
Let me
Bellamy's
finish.
my guy.
Alex Acevedo is getting the practice on doing this to prepare for Green Bay, Chicago, October 17th. Greg Braggs will be live with me, Shane, Cherie,
Oh, I can't wait
Jackal,
to meet Bearman.
Claudio. Bearman's going to be there. Sammy the Bull is setting this all up. We're working on it. So this is great stuff. To do live stuff is hard enough, but to
And
be on the scene.
we're leaving Angelo at home, so it's going to be fucking perfect.
Damn it.
Greg's
Oh,
pissed.
he's got to come.
Greg and
No, he
Angelo are
doesn't.
going to meet. I already
I'm
have
coming
it
to
set up.
Connecticut.
He's
and I'm
coming to
gonna-
Connecticut.
I'm going to sleep at Angelo's house one of those
No,
nights.
you're sleeping.
Slumber
here.
party.
I worry for your life. You'll be in the barn.
He'll want you to fix his chimney, Greg.
Wear my face as a mask, like in Silence of the Lambs.
Alex, is the cartel after me?
Oh, I got a couple voicemails I can play you.
Dude,
Oh.
wait till I tell the story this Wednesday of his
Yeah, he thinks the
conversation with
cartel's
Stephanie,
after him.
Steph, and Angelo's conversation. That'll be a teaser for
There's the
Wednesday.
teaser.
My
Well,
wife and Angelo had a conversation.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. Wednesday night, the Tape Never Lies Network. They do shows all week long. Subscribe to their Patreon page. There's a lot of people subscribed to it. I know this joke's coming, Phil. I ain't got no fucking money, so you can kiss my ass.
Money's already been spent.
But they have
I won't
free
tell you
shows
what.
on Wednesdays, like freeloaders like me tune into,
Yeah.
so I can get all the best Bears information so I can make my show better. So make sure you tune in Wednesday night, and they'll be kicking it off as they always do, keeping it 100 as they always do as well. So thank you, Alex, for all your hard work, man. You're a good friend and a great dude. So there's Alex Acevedo. We're going to bring Johnny B back in. And, Phil, Shane, I'll let you guys say your final goodbyes, and then me and Johnny B will wrap it up. I'll start with you, Phil, and then
Thank
I'll
you.
let Shane finish it.
Because
And
I
you
got to
better-
bounce.
I was going to say, this real quick better be real quick.
It's going to
brother.
be real quick.
All right, here you go. The floor is
First
yours.
of all, I want to shout out the Catch 22. Look at this. Right there, 22. That was my go-to number. Catch 22. They're going to have Jim McMahon, Shane, myself, and the infamous Greg Braggs and Johnny B. I love this guy. Going to be out there covering it. I can't wait. I'm excited. I love Greg. Anybody that knows me, including Cars, knows how much I love Greg, no matter what happens or what Greg decides to do in my driveway or anywhere else. He still has my love. So I'm excited about this show. I'm happy to come on here and be a brother and a brotherhood continue. That's that's what this world needs, is a lot more positivity. And I don't know many more positive people than Greg Braggs. And I'm excited to be a part of it with you guys, with our networks. I'm kind of the guy that got this guy into this game. So to see where he's going and how professional he makes me proud. So speaking of Father's Day, I am your father this
Proud
weekend.
Papa. I'm positive that I'm going to kick your ass in your driveway when I come to Connecticut here in November for my boy Sasha when he takes on North Carolina.
Oh, we're going to be there
in Connecticut. So I'm looking forward to that, and I appreciate you as well, Phil. So I'm going to put you backstage, and then I'm going to let Shane, the smartest man in the bar, in the tape never lies. I'm sorry.
Boy.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What am I doing here?
I even knew that was wrong.
Dude,
Yeah.
it just comes out of my mouth. But the smartest man in the tape never lies.
Since you said that, I will also talk about Father's Day, since I am also your father. Phil said you have both your dads on here. Barb knows what I'm talking about. But no, man, I didn't even know this was going on tonight. I was putting up some of these audio tiles you can see here next to me because I built this new studio in my house downstairs. So I was having some issues, and I said to Phil, I want to check these out and see if they're working. And next thing I know, I'm live on air for an hour and 10 minutes with you guys. But it's awesome. That's the way these things come together.
Life of podcasting.
That's exactly right. And it's a ton of fun. So no, thank you guys. Johnny B, I think this is the first time that I've talked to you live on air, man. It's great. Can't wait to meet all you guys when we get out there. It's going to be a ton of fun, and hopefully we have old number one taking snaps under center that game. So
that's right.
And get hyped up.
Well, fraudulent slips aside, you have been the smartest man in many rooms. Thank you very much. But you are now the smartest man at the Tape Never Lies Network, and you do a lot of great work over there, as I said before. And I'll have graphics provided for next week so people can kind of get an idea of what you guys do, and maybe Phil can send some videos along to where we can give people a visualization of everything you guys are all about over there. But wall-to-wall Bears coverage at the Tape Never Lies Network. They do shows basically 7 days a week. They put in their heart and soul into this thing.
Well, you know what I say, Greg. There's football, and then there's everything else. So I 100% am on board with what he's doing. And it's football, baby. It's football season every season, whether it's the draft, whether it's training camp, which is coming up, OTAs, making our moves in free agency. And now let's go season. Chicago with some hope. Fields Day, baby. Week 1, Los Angeles, California.
So Gary Williams says, you hope we have hope, and now we have hope, and that's a start right there.
Well, I'm hoping that you're taking care of business over there. You're a father to a newborn baby girl over there, and you're doing all this crazy work along with it and delivering the mail every day. So for you to come on tonight unannounced, and I didn't want to pressure you into anything when we have so much going on next weekend. For you to pop on and give an hour and 15 minutes of your time tonight means a lot to me, and you're a great friend. And I look forward to finally shaking your hand come October 17th. We got a big one coming up around the pike. So I'll cut you loose here, Shane, and we'll see you here next week.
Later, guys. Thanks.
All right. And that is Shane, the smartest man from the Tape Never Lies Network. So there it is. And, this is it, man. Johnny B. And then there were two. G. Braggs and Johnny B. This is what we're doing here. And, of course, Alex Acevedo waiting patiently to be cut loose so he can drive back to Bourbonnais and get home to his lovely family. So, again, this was a test run tonight that went very well, in my opinion. Weren't sure. When we first got here, I was like, I don't know how this is going to go down. But
I was pretty calm.
It takes a village. It took a village to get me through high school here in the region at Crown Point, Indiana. And it took a village tonight to get this show off the ground. And I feel like next Saturday we're going to be very well prepared for this whole thing. And, again, the Collector's Cave is putting on a big show here at Catch 22 Table and Tap. And we're going to be outdoors on this outdoor patio.
It's great. This place is great. Outside, inside, anywhere you want it. It's great. Everyone's going to have a great time. Say what's up. Get a signed jersey. A few tickets still available. I think they said 33 tickets still available.
They're going to have DJ inside. They're going to have Jim McMahon in a private room. They're going to have a guy outdoor framing the signed jerseys that if you get them signed here while you're here for the public signing. They got a one-stop shop for everything. There's going to be a lot of fun. Then, of course, Brags in the stands with the Tape Never Lies Network and many other fans that might pop in. And like I said, you might see some celebrity appeal to our show, see who can pop in and say hello while we're doing this thing. So I am really excited for everything. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Wanted to get a test run in so we can make sure we get all our ducks in a row as my duck connoisseur here.
Ducks line up.
Ducks line up. We can play the video.
Ducks line up. Ducks line up.
That's right. Ducks line up all day long. So again, Catch 22 Table and Tap in Merrillville, Indiana, next Saturday, June 26th. Be there. We're going to be here bright and early. Come in and get a table. The whole shindig of the signing starts from 1 to 2:30. Haven't gotten the exact parameters of when we're going to start going live, so that's why you want to get here as early as you can, get your table in so you can enjoy the show along with all the other festivities that are going to be going on here. And again, tomorrow night here at Catch 22 Table and Tap, they're going to be doing 80s night as our guy Jason, the owner here at Catch 22.
Very good.
See, I remembered his name.
There you go.
They're doing a lot. They've already got all their decorations up, and you can win some cool prizes if you dress up. Best costume, win some cool prizes. So, you know, I don't. Who would you dress up if you were coming here for 80s night? You're an 80s guy. Come on now.
I think I would have to go with Slash. You know, Appetite for Destruction, the top hat. I can wear my rings. You know, maybe get a really cool wig. You know, like Slash. I think I'd have to go with Slash for sure.
One of my favorite movies is Take Me Home Tonight.
Okay.
Great 80s throwback, newer comedy movie. And there's a lot. Maybe I'll have to watch that movie again
it's
to get
also
some.
the title of an Eddie Money song.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is, you know, headlined in that movie. So,
All right.
you know, it's a great movie to check out for sure. So, yeah, again, Catch 22, 80s night tomorrow night, next Saturday, the Jim McMahon public signing. Make sure you're here for it. Here's the flyer once again so you guys can understand what's going on here. But this wraps things up for tonight. We went well over everything we had expected, but we had some great conversation. And like I said, to be able to really shake the rust off of what we're trying to do. I've never done a live show. We do live shows in our house, never a live on top of live in front of a live audience.
Live.
Yeah. So we are doing a live. Aaron Rodgers is doing Jeopardy, and who knows what's going to happen next. So we're having fun here. Thanks again for everybody tonight to tune in. Chubbs has given the seal of approval. Good shit, Greg. If Chubbs is giving the seal of approval, that means we're doing a good job because he's a tough critic. So we appreciate your loyalty to this show, Chubbs, as always, my friend. And again, good night, everybody. We will talk to you here real soon. This is Brags in the Stands, Catch 22, Table and Tap, next week for Jimmy McMahon. We are so excited for it. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. And always, bear down. Here, we'll put this up, then we'll close it.